Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I am so excited to film this. I have waited so long to do this comparison. So as you can tell from the title, I have three foundations that I want to compare. The first one being the Estee Lauder. I do apologise because the bottle is very worn because this is a trusted holy grail product in my makeup bag, so it's very worn, but it is the double wear. And then to compare, I've had a few comments recently. A lady that I watch called Just Jade Says, she got the Primark foundation. Sorry, it's focusing on my face there. But this is the My Perfect Colour Double Coverage Matte Foundation, Long Wear Matte Finish, Oil Free from Primark. And this is £5. And she said it was really good and definitely recommended it to give it a try, especially if you are in love with this. So I think it's supposed to be a dupe. And then a while ago now, when I popped into B&M, I picked up this foundation, which again, it definitely looks like a dupe. Whether it's intended to be or not, I don't know, but hopefully we will soon find out. But this is the W7 Legend Lasting Wear Foundation. So yeah, I've got three foundations. One I know I absolutely love and I've used for years, one that has been highly recommended from Primark, and then one that also looks like a dupe from B&M. So I'm going to test all three of them. Without further ado, let's get into the video and let's start putting some of this on my face. Okay, so what I've got a little tin lid here. It is actually a Vaseline lid, but I thought I could pop it in here. I have cleaned and sterilised it. And I have three different brushes just to make sure that I don't mix any of the products. So, starting with the Estee Lauder Double Wear, it comes in a lovely frosted glass bottle and then it just has a gold lid. This is £34, so it's not a cheap foundation, but it is Estee Lauder, so you're not expecting it to be £8. It is, I believe, yes, it's 30ml bottle. It doesn't have a pump, which is quite disappointing. I do like a foundation with a pump on. It's a lot easier and a lot less messy, but it hasn't put me off getting the foundation. And I believe Boots do a pump for around £5, but as I say, it's a bit disappointing for such an expensive foundation to then also have to fork out for a pump to go with it. This one from Primark, so this one as well is a SPF 10. The one from Primark is SPF 15. This is 32ml, so you do get more product in here, and is only £5. It does have a black lid, but again comes in a lovely frosted glass bottle, and the same, no pump, so it is just a screw top. And then this one from B&M has the same gold lid, and again comes in a lovely frosted glass bottle. This is, if I wore my glasses, would be a lot easier. This is 28ml. There is no SPF in here, and again it's just a screw top with no pump. So yes, this was £5, you get 28ml. This was £5, you get 32ml. And this was £34 and you get 30ml. So I'm really excited to see how these do against each other, because cost-wise, you can save a lot of pennies if this is just as good. So very, very excited. So for the colours, I get the Estee Lauder in 1CO Shell. This one I got in Ivory. And then the one from B&M is in Sand Beige. So I'm hoping that all of these are going to be round about the same colour. And so I'm going to start with the Estee Lauder. I'm just going to be applying it with my normal foundation brush that I use. This is one from Real Techniques. Again, everything's wore off because I've had it so long. And it is for this exact reason why I wish that it came with a pump, and so I'm only going to put a tiny little blob in there because, as I say, I'm only doing a third of my face. It is quite thick. I do have a mirror here rather than trying to do it in there. So this is a very thick foundation. Just to say before I get going, I have put the Estee Lauder Night Repair Serum on, I think it is. I have spoke about it before, and as you can see here, I do have a bit of a breakout, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that covers. So with the Estee Lauder, it applies really nicely. I find it quite easy to blend in. The coverage is definitely there. This is something that you can put on and you won't see anything underneath. It is very full coverage. But you can still see, I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but you can still pick up on the texture of your skin. So it doesn't look cakey. I'd say it gives, without any powder on, it's definitely got a bit of a dewy glow, but I would say it's quite matte, or definitely I find it quite matte on my skin. It doesn't seem to be overly glowy or dewy, it's just got a slight like glow to it. It blends really nicely and the coverage is nice, so which is why I have stuck with this foundation for years. The next one I'm going to move on to is the B&M one. I'm really excited to try the Primark one, so I'm going to leave that till last. So I'm going to put the Primark one on this side actually to see how it does cover my breakout. This is definitely very thick. I'm struggling to get this out. So for this I am going in with another Real Techniques brush, and this seems very thick at first. Okay, you can see there I don't think this is my colour. Just to tell you as well, my skin type, I'm very oily, so throughout the day I'll go very shiny. I'd say my problem areas are definitely like along my cheek, middle of my forehead, down my nose, and definitely along my chin here. They get really oily, but overall I do have quite an oily skin type. But this is definitely very, very light. I don't know if this is my colour, but we will see how this goes. At first, I mean, the application of it, it's very easy to blend in and move around my face. I mean, there's no drag on my skin whatsoever. It's definitely got more of a dewy wetness. I don't know if you can sort of see around here where the light's picking it up. It's definitely got more of a glowy look than the Estee Lauder. And yet the colour difference, this is definitely my shade from Estee Lauder. This is looking quite yellow, which again they did, I think they did 3 other shades. There's not much choice there, so if this didn't match I'd just have to try and sort it out. But the coverage is good. I'm going to have to blend this down my neck a little bit because it has definitely got a more yellow. It does look a little bit cakey around this area. It definitely looks like it's sitting on my skin. I'm not mad. I mean, the colour isn't quite my colour. The colour is slightly off. But yeah, it's a nice glowy finish. Again, it's not too glowy. It doesn't look really oily at this stage. It's not looking bad. It's not looking bad. Okay, I'm excited to try this one now. So moving on to the Primark one. Yep, so this is dripping out, so it's not as thick, which is good. I'd say it is more of the consistency of the Estee Lauder foundation. So again, the Estee Lauder one is quite thick, but it does still like gloop out when you tip it upside down, whereas that B&M one was not moving. Okay. Again, on first impressions, it comes out really quite light. In Primark, I think again there are only 4 shades, so if I didn't go for this one, the next one up would be way too dark. So that is the only thing. Estee Lauder does have quite a range in terms of shades. Okie dokie. Again, it seems to be blending nice. It doesn't seem to be dragging across the skin. That was really quick and easy to blend that in. That blended really nicely. Again, I'd say it's got more of a glowy, dewy finish than the Estee Lauder, but not overly that it's bothering me. You can still see it's definitely blurred all the redness out and definitely covered some of my freckles under here. But I think I might go in with a second little bit over that spot and see if I can build the coverage. And just see if I can sort of push that in and build a bit of coverage over that. I think with both of them, definitely how it blends, it was so easy to blend it and work it into my face. It didn't drag across my skin at all. The B&M one was definitely a thicker consistency coming out of the pot, but then on your face it was so easy to just move it around and blend it in. The coverage is good. It has definitely covered my freckles and definitely tried its hardest on this spot here. I'd say overall that has all blended in quite well, considering I've got 3 different foundations on. I don't really think you can tell. So I'm not mad at all. Like, I can't tell I've got 3 foundations on. And considering the Estee Lauder is £34, I can definitely see me sticking with either of these. I think now this has sunk in, this is actually really nice. This finish is coming up lovely. It is quite matte, but the coverage on it as it has settled, the coverage is definitely there. And I think this one, hopefully if I give it another couple of minutes, hopefully that sinks in just as lovely. Yeah, I'm not mad. I am not mad at that at all. So overall, I'm happy with all of these. I mean, I love Estee Lauder, obviously I've used it for years, but I am so impressed with both of these foundations. You know, they've both gone on really well. I mean, more than anything, I would probably say that I would sway for the Primark one because it has got the SPF in it, which is great. I've not got to use another product to get that SPF there. It's in the foundation. And I would say that the B&M one is just a bit slightly too yellow toned for my skin, but it's still sitting lovely and it still blends lovely, and as I say, you can sort of correct the colour slightly with powder and bronzer. So that was my first impression. What I'm going to do now is apply the rest of my makeup and then I'll check back in. I'm back. So I've finished the rest of my makeup. It has all gone quite nicely actually. The only thing I would say is that this B&M side, when I was putting my blush on, because I put my blush on first, felt quite tacky. That did feel like it was getting stuck and I was dragging the brush across the skin. So I did feel it, and it was quite tacky and quite sticky. This side, the Primark side, went on lovely and that was perfectly fine. But now that I've put my powder on, you can't tell I've got 3 different foundations on. Like, they all look exactly the same. They've all blended in well, and they've all like gone exactly the same. So when I've powdered, none of them look cakey. They all look exactly the same colour now, and all I've done is just put my normal powder and blush on. So yeah, I'm really not mad about these foundations, and they are so much cheaper. So yeah, my only worry is that B&M was a bit tacky putting it on, but it didn't get stuck. So it's not like it just gobbed a big blush mark on it. It still did blend in after a while. And yeah, the finish has gone exactly the same. So it's all like gone quite matte and it's all settled quite nice. Nowhere looks overly cakey. I've still got the coverage. So yeah, really happy so far, and it's living up to the excitement that I had to film this video. So yeah, really pleased so far. It is currently 12 12:41. I know that flips it. So yes, it's 12:41, so it is the afternoon, so I'm not going to be able to wear this for a full day amount of hours. So I'm going to try and keep it on for as long as I can to see how it wears throughout the day. But yeah, at the moment, very happy, very pleased. The only thing that is going to worry me is just how shiny and oily I'm going to get here along my chin and down the section of my nose, but we'll soon find out. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it some hours and check back in, which with you will be 1 second. Hello, so it is 17:44, which I think is approximately 5 hours since I put this on. And this is the current view. It is a little bit rubbish on the light in front, so I do apologise about that, and I don't know how much you're really going to be able to see from it. But so far, it's not doing too bad. Just looking over here, because I've got a mirror. I'm quite surprised about this, and again, I'm so happy that I've found this and brought this into my life, because this is the Estee Lauder one, and again, so the middle of my forehead is a problem area for me where I get quite oily, and as I said, along my cheeks, down my nose and across my chin. So they're the parts that always get oily. They always have, no matter what foundation I've used. I've always had to top up my powder throughout the day. And I think from this lighting you may be able to see that here has gone quite oily, and this cheek here has gone quite oily as well. But this side is still quite matte. I don't know if you can see from the light, like especially here, it's like reflecting quite a lot. And it is quite oily, but this side just still looks glowy, like it hasn't changed. It just hasn't changed in its view, like it's just a nice glowy but not oily, needs powdering sort of like wetness to it, which I think this side and even the Estee Lauder one, because even with the Estee Lauder foundation, I do find that I have to top up the powder throughout the day. Like that definitely still goes oily. But as I say, I've had that with every foundation because I do have really oily skin. So even with the Estee Lauder one, I probably would put some more powder on now. And definitely this side, in terms of the B&M one, definitely needs a powder. But this side I'm just so impressed with. So this is the Primark one, and it still looks so like matte and flawless, but still got a bit of dewiness to it. So yeah, really impressed with that. The only thing I would say the difference between them is, I don't know if you can see under here, under my eye here, compared to this side. This side has creased a little bit more, like it has seemed to have sunken into my wrinkles underneath the eyes there. Smile lines are doing good. Normally, again, I do get quite bad smile lines throughout the day because I have dimples and I'm forever smiling at something, so it normally sinks in those, but it's not done too bad. It's just under this eye here where I find that it's just gone a bit sunken in a bit more and creased a little bit more. But the colour on all of them has done really well. Obviously I know the Estee Lauder one, but the colour of this is, I don't think you can tell that I've got 3 separate foundations on, which is always good. But yeah, definitely I noticed that it was a bit more yellowy looking back at the clips. But this side is just still so matte, but it's still got a nice little dewy look to it. Whereas the Estee Lauder and the B&M one could definitely just do with a top up of powder, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it and see how they carry on wearing. So as I said, it's 10 to 6 at the moment now, so I'm going to carry on leaving it. I've still got to have dinner yet, so I'm going to have that and then wait till later on and see how far we can get. But this is an update as of now, and I will catch up with you again later on. So it is now 20 to 10. Don't have my phone with me, but yeah, it's 20 to 10, so it's 4 hours later. So this has now been on for 9 hours and I've done nothing. I've not topped it up with any powder or anything. I've literally just let it sit on my face. It's completely pitch black outside, so this is artificial lighting, so I don't know how much you're going to be able to see, but coming in close, it's definitely got very oily around here and definitely started to get a bit flaky in terms of mascara. I think you can see there. My forehead again is quite oily in the centre here, but other than that it's all stayed in place. It's just started to look a bit shiny, and this side again has started to go a little bit oily here. But overall this side out of the 3 places is definitely, it's the least oiliest out of the 3. It's definitely at a stage now where I would probably top it up with some powder. But overall, I think they've all done pretty well. I mean, I knew I love the Estee Lauder because I've used that for years and years and years. So I know that was a favourite. But definitely trying out the dupes, especially seeing as they're only £5, has definitely been an interest of mine over the past couple of weeks. So I'm glad I've finally done this video, and I'm glad that I've given it the time to sit on my face. I mean, you can see here as well my mascara's started to come off. I mean, with any foundation, even with the Estee Lauder one, I've never left it on my face for 9 hours without topping it up with a bit of powder. So considering I've not touched it at all for the 9 hours, I am quite impressed by it. But as I say, here you can see it is definitely glistening, and the same on this side, so they are both a little bit oily. And then still with the Estee Lauder, you can see it's still quite oily in my problem areas. So considering the Estee Lauder has still gone quite shiny, as I knew it did anyway, I'm definitely not mad about these being a little bit shiny and oily. But they've definitely stuck in place. I mean, all of my blusher is in place, my eyebrows haven't smudged or anything. It's just that in a few places my mascara has started to smudge slightly. But yeah, I'm really not mad. I think overall, if I had to say as an overall comparison, this B&M one is slightly too yellow for my skin colour, and they don't have the range of colours for me to match it. So I would say that's what would mainly put me off this side. I would definitely prefer the Primark side. It stayed matte for a lot longer. It's got SPF in it, which this side doesn't, and it also matched my skin tone a lot better. There was also, if I remember rightly, 2ml more in the Primark side, so you did get more for your money. But yeah, I was really impressed with that. I mean, you can't complain for £5 for B&M and Primark compared to £34 of Estee Lauder. They are pretty good dupes. Yeah, if you're a fan of Estee Lauder double wear, get yourself to Primark and try their dupe, because it is 100% worth the £5. 100%. I hope you found it helpful in some way, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And please let me know down below if you go out and try these foundations, or if you already use any of these foundations, because I would be really intrigued to see what your thoughts are on any one of them. So yeah, that's my review done, and as I say, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave me a comment down below and like the video if you did enjoy, and stay till the end. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because it really does help support my channel. But other than that, I'm going to stop rambling, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!